If you could please turn off your cameras and mute yourself, that would be greatly appreciated. So I'm going to begin by saying good afternoon again, because it is afternoon. Welcome to BOMA Talks, a monthly series where we will hear from fellow BOMA Metro Detroit members. This special series will help us to grow our network of colleagues and build lasting relationships. I am Susan Light, Business Development Manager at Garterwold Security Services.
And I am Star Masella with Friedman Property Management Group. As co-chairs of BOMA Detroit Communication Committee, we will be your BOMA Talks hosts for today. You can find a recording of BOMA Talks interviews along with our past interviews, as well as upcoming events on our website, www.bomadet.org, and our YouTube channel, BOMA Metro Detroit. Don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook for our weekly Monday Member of the Week and updates. BOMA Talks is part of a sponsor program, and we want to give a special thanks to all of our partners: Marble Life Groutmaster, Right Size Facilities, Detroit Disposal, and City Elevator.
And just so everybody knows, nobody had a lot of sleep last night from the storm. So if we goof this up, that is exactly why.
Yep.
Yep. But this month, we have the privilege to introduce to you our May BOMA Talk members, which will be Chadwick Helberg with NEWMARK and Brian, Kazak with Landforms. So to start off this month, I'd like to introduce Chadwick Helberg with NEWMARK. And if you could come on camera so everybody can see you, Chadwick. I think you might be on my page 2. Where are you? Page 1? Are you there?
There he is.
Hi,
I'm here.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
As you heard earlier, both of us are a little sleepy from lack of sleep. And we promise not to yawn. And if we do, if one yawns, the other does. It has nothing to do with you, we promise. But welcome.
They are contagious. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, we're excited to have you. To begin with, can you tell us a little bit about NEWMARK?
Yeah, so NEWMARK is a full-service, third-party commercial real estate provider. Service lines, everything from capital markets to leasing to property management, which is what I'm a part of, and also valuation and a couple other specialty service markets. We don't own any real estate, but as it pertains to property management, which is where the conversation is today, we're kind of the headache medicine for owners and support them in their management operations.
Okay, and how long have you been with them?
Since 2018.
Okay, so I have to count back 7, so 7 years. I have to do some math. Finally using my math from high school.
7 years.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And what do you love about your job?
So currently I am in an oversight role now. So I'm dealing much more with the people and much less with the property. So as it pertains to my role right now, I really do love the people. I'm blessed with 12 great managers and all of their teams, the people that are on their teams, whether it be the property assistants or assistant property managers or building engineers. We just have a really great group of people. So, kind of finding the management style based on everybody's individual personalities and going through all that is what I find rewarding, I guess, out of the job.
Okay, and what area do you cover? A certain area?
We're not too much in the CBD of Detroit. We're mostly Metro Detroit, Southfield, Farmington Hills, Bloomfield Hills. We do have some stuff in West Michigan, but the majority of it is the outer Lang cities.
Okay, so now when you started 7 years ago, were you in the same position you are now, or did you start, as in a different role?
I did, yeah. So my career initially began 12 or 13 years ago now, and I worked my way up to be a property manager. When an opportunity at NEWMARK presented itself, it was for an assistant property manager job. So kind of ate some humble pie. I knew I wanted to be more of the corporate real estate
Okay.
service line. So I took a step back, learned from the ground up the NEWMARK stuff, and kind of progressed through the ranks. And now I'm, responsible for the oversight of all of our management operations.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
When you started, did you have really long hair? Now you just keep pulling it out as time goes on?
In this line of work, that can definitely be the case, but
Yes,
I think it just happened. I've always had the short hair.
Okay. Okay. Now, what did you do before that? How did you get into or decide this is the direction you wanted to go?
Well, I guess my answer to that would be I found a direction I didn't want to go in
Okay.
this line of work. My mother was a condo association manager. So she got me an internship at the company that she was working with. It's Dave McNabney, if anybody's familiar with the name. He's since retired, but they had the condo association arm. He did leasing and sales, and he also, had some commercial real estate management that he was doing as well. Watching my mom manage condos growing up, I said, I know I don't want to do that. God bless her. Every time the phone rings, it's an owner, and they talk to her like they're an owner. And there's a lot that goes into that. But the commercial side of it, I've done some residential as well, but not condos. But the commercial side of it is really what intrigued me. So, had the internship through college, graduated, started there, and worked for some owner operators before I ended up at NEWMARK.
Okay. That sounds almost like, even though you knew what you didn't want to do, but you kind of turned it around and went to the other side. So
Yep.
sounds like she did, even though she had those phone calls, sounds like it was a little bit impactful.
It was. I had a good enough flavor of what the industry is and what the job would entail. I just knew that specific product type wasn't, for me.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that I asked you what your favorite part is, what is, I want to say, I don't want to say the worst part, but what is, what part of your job or your role, what part can you do without? Let's be nice about it.
That question, right? I guess kind of the thorn in my side with this industry, and if any of the listeners here are in the property management world or are managing properties, just the being on call all the time. I have some service background, so I moonlighted tending bar and waiting tables, which was a different type of stress. But once you got done with your shift, you were done, right? Like you could leave it there, you could go home, you could decompress. But in this industry, it's very much revolving. It carries over. It keeps you up at night. It has you in a fast food parking lot eating food and stress eating. So just the constant. These buildings are living and breathing. The people that manage them, they're certainly going through it to try and keep our clients and our tenants and everybody happy and satisfied. So it's very much hard to unplug. But that's what we sign up for. It's great. I've heard somebody in the past when I was first getting going, why would you want to do property management? And one of his answers, well, not many people want to do it, right? So not many people are willing to do it. There's a quick burnout rate in this industry, as you know, because there is quite a bit that comes along with it. You need to know so many different things to be, semi-adequate at it. So that's just where, it led me. So.
Okay.
Jack of all trades, masters of none.
Oh, I know. And if you ask anybody, they'll tell you that, so how are selling houses going? She's like, no, that's not what I do.
I've got that.
If you were to ask my wife, she'd tell you I buy the toilet paper for the buildings. So quick funny story. So her family loves the movie The Kindergarten Cop, which is an old Schwarzenegger. Yeah, it's an old Schwarzenegger movie, which is just peak cinema, where you have this Herculean figure in Arnold Schwarzenegger, teamed up with co-stars being five-year-old kindergartners. And there's a specific scene in the movie where he's trying to figure out what all these kids' fathers do. And, you know, he does the "Who's your daddy?" and "What does he do?" And the kids all deliver incredible responses on what their fathers do, including one little boy who made a comment on his father's profession in women's health, which was just classic as it comes. But she leaned over to me when we were watching it one time. She said, "My daddy was toilet paper for big bills." So that's what she would think.
I love that.
It's a great movie. I love that movie.
Gonna have
It's a
to
great
watch
movie.
it. Gonna have to watch it again. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
Oh, you'll crack up. Yeah, it's very funny.
It's so good.
Well,
It's so
Mhm.
good.
Well, I always ask this question for property managers, and we've had quite an array of responses. So, in all the years you've done this, what is the one issue that you've had that just sticks in your mind and you never want to hear or see it again? So we've had an array, and I think, Star, you know which way I'm going with that one. That one. So, like the word, you know, and I hate saying worse, but just like one of your memories that you or nightmares in one of your
That
properties
I
that
wish
you never wanted.
happened.
Yeah.
That should have never happened, and you just, you know, it's just you can't unsee it. Let's put it that way.
I for sure have an answer to that, and I was mortified when this happened. We had a miscommunication between our client accounting, and the client was not the one miscommunicating, but our client accounting miscommunicated with me as the manager. It's the way I see it. Maybe they see it a different way. But anyway, long story short, we did not pay a tax bill on time for a tax bill that was pretty hefty, and which led me to absolute panic. And I was on the phone with the city manager, trying to do everything, pleading with them to try and waive this late fee that we incurred as part of missing this tax payment by a day. But I just remembered, again, I was mortified. It was by far the worst day on the job for me. You know, everybody goes through the building floods or the fires, or, you know, you seemingly never stop getting service requests, or the client keeps asking for things, or whatever the case may be. And that's just kind of part of the job. But this particular event was a hard one for me. You know, my managers probably get annoyed with me because I am the tax police to make sure, like,
You are.
go ahead and tell me that you paid it. I don't care. Show me you paid it. I want to know for sure that you paid that tax bill, because I do not want to go through that ever again.
Well, that'll stick in your mind. You will never have to worry about that again.
Yeah.
And I'm going to now change the subject into BOMA. So how long have you been a member of BOMA?
It's been about a year. We have 3 other managers at NEWMARK that are BOMA members. I've been to some of the BOMA events as my career was getting going. Always knew that I wanted to be involved in BOMA. I definitely saw the value in it. Meeting the vendors and specifically for property managers, that's where the value is for us. And when you meet somebody there, as opposed to cold calling somebody, I've always found that you have a little bit better experience. You know, you're not really going to get jerked around. You know that they're going to shoot straight shit with you. So that's been, all my BOMA experiences have been super positive.
And have you attended any of the events that we've had? And if so, which one is your favorite?
So I did the trade show 3 or 4 years ago. It was the Kentucky Derby one, which that was a lot of fun. And Jamar, and I cannot remember the young lady's name that put it on with her. It was the Emerging Professionals BOMA event. That was the most recent one that I went to at the hub in Novi, where we ice curled, which I had never done before.
Oh, wow.
It was comic relief for myself to laugh at myself trying to do that, as well as internally kind of chuckling at some other people trying to do it as well, which I'm sure they were doing to me too. If you've never done it before, it's it's worth going and giving it a shot. But that was a fun event. That was good. And they did a great job putting that on.
Well, we hope to see you at some of the upcoming events that we have going on. Make sure that you are following us on LinkedIn.
Yep.
You have to do that. On
Absolutely.
Facebook, if you're on Facebook as well. And we're glad. I haven't heard that one. Of course, I wasn't invited or to that one. Was I? No, I wasn't. No, but I mean, clapping. Thanks, Rick. I saw that. But yes, yeah, you wouldn't want me on that one. But is there anything else that BOMA, that you see that how we can help you and what you do? Any other, questions that you have or anything that would be an added value?
Right. Again, we've hired a handful of property managers over the last year or so, and a couple of them are coming from different markets. So, value for them and going and meeting the local vendors here and establishing relationships. Again, as I said, instead of just picking up the phone and calling these people out of the blue, has been great for them. For me, as kind of a leadership role and trying to grow our book of business, going there and meeting some of the owners and some of the potential customers and clients for NEWMARK. I candidly don't know how much of that is part of BOMA Metro Detroit at this point. And again, I've only been in it for a year and I haven't done enough events or things like that to probably pass judgment. But that is where I would, in my role, see value is if my customers were there. A lot of the vendors, when they go to these events, their customers are there, right? The property managers are there, the owners are there. These are people that are going to be utilizing the services. So if I put on my vendor hat, okay, I'm a third-party service provider, are my customers there? So right. That's just kind of where the, I guess, difference in whether it be roles within a third-party company here.
Well, if you ever need anything, by all means, we have the membership committee. You can reach out to anybody on the membership committee. I happen to be on it. But we love our goal is to make sure we network people with, people that fit them well and just become one big happy family with Rick as our father.
Yeah. He's a great father too, right? You have strong leadership, and Rick provides that, no doubt.
Yes. Yeah. You like that? Well, I was going to say Rachel's your daughter, but she's really not because she's Brian. But if you need anything, of course, Rick and Rachel, definitely you can reach out to them. So we'd like to, especially myself, getting to know you. I'd like to thank you for joining us today. It was an absolute pleasure meeting you. And we hope to see you at one of the upcoming events. And again, if you need anything, please reach out to any of us. We're more than happy to help and get you involved in whatever we can.
Great. Thank you. And before I jump off real quick, I want to give you, the whole team that's putting this thing on an attaboy. I think what you're doing here is wonderful. There was a need and room for it in our space, and getting people together, not only at these events, but virtually like this to just kind of talk shop. I think it is great. So thank you for what you're doing. Certainly thank you for having me on. And if anybody, needs anything from me, please don't hesitate to reach out. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you for that. Even though we laugh and we yawn, but yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you.
I didn't catch many yawns when we were talking. Right, thank you.
Okay, so we are going to start off with our first BOMA message for today, which is the Design, Operation, and Maintenance of Building Systems Part 1. BOMI begins on May 19th. Oh my God, that's a mouthful. Or BOMI, B-O-M-I, begins on May 19th at the First National Building in Detroit. Make sure you register at bomadet.org to reserve your spot. And just a huge shout out and a thank you to everyone that attended this year's annual trade fair at Eastern Market. That was absolutely amazing. We had a huge turnout. People were reliving their childhood, and the costumes were great. The guys walking around, the circus people, Rick, even you were fabulous. Brian and the dog, Walter, I'm taking Walter home. So I think that was one of the best ones yet. So congratulations to everybody that was a part of it, all the vendors, everybody that participated and showed up. Big round of applause for everybody.
Okay. Well, next up, we would like to introduce Brian Kazak from Landforms. Are you there, Brian?
Hi, guys.
There you are.
Hi.
Hi, Brian. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Landforms?
So, Landforms Environmental, we're a full-service exterior maintenance contractor focused on landscape maintenance and snow, providing service to our clients in the Midwest, primarily Michigan.
So how long have you been with Landforms?
Landforms Environmental started in 22, and I've been on there since then.
Okay. Was that what you have always been involved in, or was that something new for you?
No, I've been in the industry since 1996 with my own side, and then Landforms Environmental was started by my wife, and primarily what we're doing is when we've got clients outside of our home market, we're able to work with them and fulfill their needs at different facilities, different locations.
What is your target market area?
Midwest. We have a lot of stuff in Grand Rapids. We have a lot of stuff in Metro Detroit. We do some stuff in Ohio and some stuff in Illinois.
Gotcha. Okay, so you guys do like just regular mowing, plant, things like that, tree trimming. Do you do all that?
All of that. Our biggest focus is snow, so
Okay.
commercial and industrial snow.
Got it. Okay. So the company started in 22, right? You said?
Correct.
And that was right after COVID?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it a difficult transition for you during that time period?
No, because I mean we've been in this industry so long, my wife and I, and then it was something that she wanted to start off as a WB ENC vendor, and she's been in the industry as long as I have, so she kind of just took it and started to run with it, and now my focus is just sales.
Okay. And how long have you been a member with BOMA?
We're almost up to a year now.
A year now. Okay. And have you gone to any of the events?
I've done a couple of the skeet shooting events, and then we were at the trade show last year and then this year as well.
Did you enjoy the trade show this year?
Yeah, it was a really good time. It was a nice venue.
I thought so too. I thought that was definitely one of our best ones I think I've been to. I enjoyed that one and the casino one. Did you make it to the casino one?
I did not.
What was that, 2 years ago?
Actually,
3 years ago
no,
now?
casino was last year. I was there.
Was that last?
No,
No, that was
last
2
year
years.
was Cinco de Mayo. Yeah,
Cinco de
last
Mayo,
year
yeah,
was Cinco
so it
de
was
Mayo.
2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But that one was a lot of fun because every time you went to a table, you got chips, and then everyone got to gamble afterwards. It was a really good time. But that one was a lot of fun. Okay, so since you've been there, since you guys started in 2022, tell me about like what is probably one of the things you enjoy most about your job?
I mean, we've got a great team, so it makes selling easy because I know that my team can back up whatever we sell. Attention to detail, communication. Everybody in the field is real strong, and everybody in the office is real strong. So when I sell something, I can communicate clear expectations. They can execute, and then our clients are, it's nice to have a team where we don't have to go back and fix things, and everything is done right the first time, and it allows our clients to focus on their business so we can focus on maintaining their facility.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to ask a weird question just because this has always come up and I'm just like, I don't understand it. But in place of using salt for ice, do you guys ever use the beet juice or whatever that is that the people are all the rage on? The people are using beets to melt ice.
Like the red beets?
Yeah.
Like you eat
Yeah.
the beets?
Yeah, the tricky thing about beet juice is it's freeze point, so sometimes it can get really slick, and it it'll be worse than ice.
Oh,
So we
Okay.
don't. I mean, we do some calcium chloride. We pre-wet some salt. We do some direct application of chloride, but we don't do anything with beet juice.
then my other question was, does beet juice stain the sidewalks in the parking lots?
I imagine if it was red beet juice and you were with white concrete, yeah, I think you'd be pink.
And then when it melts, you can eat it. I mean, who puts beets in? I mean, is it a TikTok thing?
No,
No,
this
but
is this has been for years. I've heard about this.
It's there, but if we use enough salt, then we can do margaritas in the spring.
There you go.
So
I've also heard of people using sand too.
so sand works more in like our northern markets. We have some clients around Gaylord, Alpena that want some sand, but the problem with that is that when you put sand in with your salt, then your catch basins along the curb get filled up with sand, and
Oh,
they have to be pumped out. So I mean, salt is definitely the best. Either plow it or salt it.
okay. Well, thank you for answering that because I've
Right.
wondered this for
Helps,
years.
That's a good question because I know in our subdivision, sometimes they want to cut down on the cost for salt, so they will put sand. But then where does it go? It doesn't melt, it just sits there.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's,
and sand gives you traction. So, I mean, it helps. And if it just washes into the municipal street, you guys don't care.
yeah, that's true. That's
Huh.
true.
Interesting. Okay, well, I'm glad to know that there's options, but it doesn't sound like I'll be using anything other than salt.
Not if you work with us. We're gonna make it safe with salt.
Yeah. So are
He's
you
gonna
gonna be
bring you
attending?
beet juice.
Yeah,
Just
seriously.
for you.
Are you gonna be attending the golf outing this spring, or fall, either golf outing?
I think we've got 2 employees that are going. I'm not a golfer.
Oh, okay. Excellent. All right. Well, is there anything else you wanted to share with us before we let you go?
I have a
No, I
question.
mean,
Oh, Susan has a question.
all right, Susan, she's gonna drop a
Okay.
beat on me too.
Yeah. Oh, it's not, can you use lemon? No, I'm just kidding. No. What is, doing in, with the snow plowing and everything, what is the worst storm? When was that and how bad was it?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you could slice that up a million ways. I mean, sometimes we're ready for a 10-inch storm and we get nothing. So
Right.
that's a terrible storm. I try to tell my guys anything over 12 inches is always problematic. I think though, when we really get some ice, that's difficult because we're constantly out, we're constantly applying materials. When you have freezing rain, you're going to wash off your salt, and we're going to come back and reapply. But
Yeah.
it's not the act of keeping our sites safe, because once our teams are on site, they do a good job. It's getting them 2 miles down the road to the next site. That's what I worry about, is just keeping our team safe, moving from site to site. Once you're on your site, it's kind of, you're just taking care of it. I had a mentor of mine that told me that, he said, Brian, no matter if it's going to be 2 inches or 10 inches, you're going to take care of it. We're all in the same boat. All your contractors are fighting the same storm. And it kind of gave me a peace of mind. But I always worry about the guys making it to the sites and the guys going in between sites.
I love that. I think Star and I, like I like to do ride-alongs with, deputies. Oh, I got a K-9 one coming up. I think Star and I should do a ride-along with maybe one of your guys.
Snowplow.
Snowplow.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be happy to do it. Our marketing team, we use a marketing team out of Howell called Hippo Marketing, and that's one of my favorite things to do in the winter. Is Derek will jump in with me and we'll just kind of go visit all the guys and deliver donuts and coffee and get some real good shots of everybody. But if the two of you want to meet at 2:00 in the morning, is usually when our guys go out.
It's going to be in the middle of the night when this happens, because it always is.
Yeah. So but there's no
I think-
traffic in the middle of the night.
Right.
I think Star should do it first, and then she'll let me know how it
I'll
is.
let her know how it goes.
You know, you could just pick her up and then swing by because we live so close to each other. Pick me up and the two of there you go.
There you go.
Well, I mean, so since BOMA shops BOMA, why don't you guys both get me the snow removal where you guys are at, and then we'll pick you up and take you for a ride.
There you go.
Yeah, guess what? I will hook you up with we have an HOA here and we have private roads. So definitely, by all means.
Perfect.
Yeah, see? That's how BOMA works.
See, we're getting it done.
Brian, if you're taking these two on a truck tour, we're going to call another BOMA member, probably Kitch, so that we have a liability waiver for you.
Okay. Whose
What are you
voice
saying,
is
Rick?
that? Is that everybody's dad? I've never
Yeah,
heard
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah, that's
Oh,
Dad
the-
speaking.
That's
the
That's
dad.
Grandpa Rick.
That's
What'd you call him? Grandpa
Grandpa
Rick?
Rick.
Grandpa. What about stepdad? I like stepdad Rick.
Oh,
Who's
look,
your
he
dad?
comes on
Rick
camera.
Troy.
Yeah, there
We're
he
in
comes.
trouble.
I
We're in
heard this
trouble
voice,
now.
and Dad was talking to me again.
When he
Oh,
comes on
Lord.
camera, we're in trouble.
Uh,
Oh, God, it was a good one. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
thank
good.
you for joining us, Brian. We really appreciate it. We enjoyed learning a lot about landforms. So I guess what we'll go ahead and do now is read our second BOMA message, which is, registration for the spring golf outing is closed, correct?
Yes, so spring golf outing is absolutely sold out. We have some dinner tickets available. You can check that out on the website, but we are sold out of golfers, which is an indicator that our fall one in September will also sell out. So when that becomes available, don't wait, register early.
Yep, agreed.
That was fast. That was real fast.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Well, we do
so-
have the other art prize coming up though.
So yeah, Susan,
Yes.
we've got some things that have been happening literally in the last 2 or 3 days. If I could jump in, fill out.
Please
The
do, Dad.
boat outing is going to be open for registration in a couple of days, but we have very limited passenger seating this year. We do have 2 boats that are available for sponsorship that will add additional seats. Again, all that can be looked at the website or give me a shout. We have our Toby tour, which is coming up on June 19th. This is a really special event where property managers get the opportunity to tour the Book Tower building, which won a Toby last year, in groups of 10. So it's an intimate setting where groups of 10 people get to tour and see all of the things that we do when we judge a building. So it's kind of a fun event. It's a little bit of training. If you're considering putting your building in for a Toby, you really, really want to come to this because not only of all the educational aspect of it and the really cool people, but there's also some great appetizers and cocktails afterwards. So that's June 19. That is up for registration right now.
The bus.
And the bus.
The bus.
First time ever. We're going to put about 40 to 50 people on a chartered bus in September, and we're going to go over to Grand Rapids for Art Prize, spend some time on the streets of Grand Rapids, checking out all that Art Prize is, and then we go to the Mackey Tower, where we get to have a beer summit with BOMA West Michigan. So great time coming up in September for that event as well. All on the website, bomadet.org.
Great events. Great events. Very, very excited. Can you imagine Star and I in a bus together with you,
No,
Dad?
there will be a little liability waiver for
Headphones.
So with all that, thank you, Rick, for bringing all that up. We'd like to thank all of our BOMA Talks guests today for giving us insights on their company. And it was actually a pleasure getting to know each and every one of you during this time. A recording of this month's BOMA Talks will be available on our website under the events tab. We also have the YouTube channel. And again, just keep an eye out for LinkedIn. If you do not follow us, make sure you follow us there. We hope that you learned as much as we did from our speakers today. And at this time, we would like to thank
Chadwick Helberg with NEWMARK and Brian Kazak with Landforms. We look forward to our next BOMA Talks hour in June. Once again, I am Star Masella.
And I'm Susan Light. Thank you for joining our Starlight production and have a fabulous Friday
And weekend.
and weekend. Yes.